You're watching NFL Daily. I am your host, Harrison Graham. The Jacksonville Jaguars have gotten rid of Doug Marrone. He is out in Jacksonville, which means we got to take a look at a Jaguars coaching search. I got 10 candidates we're going to get to in just a sec, but Marrone does exit after his time in Jacksonville. Look, we all saw this coming, and honestly, in his defense, he probably saw this coming into this year. They go 1-15. Shout out Gardner Minshew for that Week 1 win. They would lose 15 straight to finish their worst season in franchise history, but they do get the number 1 pick, which makes this job very, very intriguing as they will likely select Trevor Lawrence in the 2021 NFL Draft. But Marrone is out, which means they got to find a new head coach in Jacksonville. The New York Jets have also parted ways with Adam Gase. We will have a Jets coaching search hot board as well, so check that out on the channel in the near future. But what do you guys think is the better head coaching job? Type JAC for the Jaguars, type NYJ for the New York Jets. Which is the better coaching search or job? In my opinion, right now, I don't think it's close. I think it's the team that has the number 1 overall pick. I think the Jags have some pieces on this team. I'm typing my JAC for the Jaguars. All right, so let's get into my candidates for the Doug Marrone replacements. 10 names to keep an eye on as Jacksonville officially starts their coaching search, literally as we are speaking. Let's go to number 10 here. Ryan Day, the head coach of Ohio State. Over the weekend, Adam Schefter reported that the NFL will have some interest in Day, but soon after it came out of Day's camp that he's not interested right now in the NFL. He wants the bag from Ohio State. He's been great there. He deserves a pay raise since taking over for Urban Meyer. What a performance in the college football playoff semifinal game as they beat Clemson the other night. I think at some point he will make the jump and will have opportunities to do so, but I think he's comfortable with where he's at right now. He'll get a raise from the Buckeyes. He will stay in college football, but he's worth calling. At number 9, Joe Brady, the OC of the Carolina Panthers. Maybe that shine has worn off a little bit. Up and down results with Carolina, but I think pretty good overall with the limited pieces they had. Yeah, they had 2 nice receivers in Robbie Anderson and DJ Moore, but Teddy Bridgewater has limitations. Christian McCaffrey is banged up. So I think in his first year as a play caller in the NFL, saw some good things. He's certainly going to continue to get college football and NFL interest, but he's so young. He's 31 years old. Is Joe Brady ready to be an NFL head coach? I think he'll get there eventually. Just don't know if his time is here yet. So who should the Jags hire as their next head coach? To me, it needs to be an offensive mind, and you build around Trevor Lawrence, who you should draft in 4 months. But let me know what you guys think about the next head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. We'll make this the pinned comment on today's video, so if you get hit with the ad break, go ahead and let us know who Jacksonville should hire. At number 8 on our Jacksonville Jaguars hot board, Marvin Lewis. A guy that is actually better liked than the public would actually think in NFL circles. He is well liked. There's a reason Cincinnati kept him for 12 years or whatever it is. DC at Arizona State under Herm Edwards right now. Probably more of the Rooney Rule candidate right now. I think at some point he could get back into the NFL as a coordinator, head coach. He might need to fall into the right situation where maybe he becomes an interim and then gets a second opportunity. I don't think he'll get a head coaching job this cycle, but he probably will get interviews. The Cowboys interviewed him last offseason. At number 7, Jim Caldwell, a guy who, when he was fired by Detroit, was like, this guy's old. He's probably not going to get a head coaching job again. Maybe he does get a second chance at some point. I'm not convinced Jacksonville's the right fit because he is older at 65, but how much better does his time in Detroit look now considering how bad Matt Patricia flamed out? That was a disaster. He won 10 games twice with the Lions, Caldwell did, so all of a sudden, maybe he wasn't as bad as we all initially thought. He was not coaching in football this year, spent 2019 as the Dolphins QB coach and associate head coach under Brian Flores. We'll see if he gets back into the National Football League, probably as a coordinator, but maybe as a head coach in the future. If you want NFL videos all off-season long, and you Jags fans, we're going to be tracking the draft as well. Mock drafts, draft coverage, quarterback prospect rankings, because Jacksonville has the number 1 pick. Hit that subscribe button. We also cover the latest NFL news and rumors, and we'll have playoff action all postseason long. Hit that big red button and subscribe today. Daily videos here on Chat Sports for 100% free. All right, next up is Robert Saleh, the defensive coordinator for San Francisco. A couple of years ago, he was kind of on the hot seat, and all of a sudden now he's considered maybe the best defensive coordinator in the NFL right now, he's at least in that conversation. I think the job he did this year and really that whole 49ers staff, patchworking through that season and at least being competitive, was pretty admirable for a team that had a ton of injuries, especially on the defensive side. I know for a fact he's interviewing with Detroit and Atlanta. That has been confirmed. The Lions' job feels like the fit for Saleh, but if you want to go defense in Jacksonville, he could be a candidate. But again, I've got him lower because I think offense is the right move for the Jaguars. Don Martindale, he's been a good DC with Baltimore as well. Again, kind of a similar mold here. Really good defensive coordinator, passionate type of coach, but do you want him as your head coach in Jacksonville? Again, I want someone who can connect with Trevor Lawrence and get the most out of him. That is what I'm looking for if I'm the Jacksonville Jaguars. I like Martindale. I like Robert Saleh. They're both really good defensive minds. But in today's NFL, if you're going to hire a defensive coordinator as a head coach, you better be convinced that they can bring in the right OC. Can those guys do that? We'll just have to wait and see. Before we get into our top 4, rate the Jags head coaching job from a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being this is the worst job in the NFL. 10 being this could be a playoff team next year. I'm at like a 6. I mean, the idea of Trevor Lawrence is very intriguing. I think 3 weeks ago the Jets was the better job, but now that the Jags have the number 1 pick, look, I think there's some pieces in place here. You get Lawrence in there, the right head coach. I'm intrigued by this job. I'm going to put it at a 6 or a 7. Eric Bieniemy, the guy who should be near the top at everybody's coaching search. I've got him at 4 because I think there's other jobs that he will be more interested in. I know he's interviewing with the Falcons. He'll probably interview with a few other jobs as well. He's been great. Andy Reid has publicly endorsed him multiple times as a future head coach. He's interviewed a couple of times in recent cycles. I'm not sure what the problem has been in him not landing a head coaching gig. I'd be stunned if he doesn't get a job this offseason, but the Falcons have interest. The Texans have interest. I think if the Chargers job opens up, they'll have interest. It's going to be competitive for Bieniemy and some of these teams. We'll see where the Jags fall in that pecking order. Another guy that they may have a better chance at is Arthur Smith, and I know he looks old, but he's actually not. He's 38 years old, so he's a young up-and-comer. The work he has done with Ryan Tannehill in that Tennessee offense has been incredible. Ryan Tannehill's career was basically over in a lot of ways. He flamed out in Miami. He had some injuries. The Titans threw him like a 1-year, $7 million deal after they traded for him but from the Miami Dolphins. He replaces Marcus Mariota, rallies them to the playoffs in 2019, has a great season this year. Obviously, he has Derrick Henry as well. That helps, but Arthur Smith has done a fantastic job with this Tennessee offense. I'm fascinated to see how they play in the postseason this year. That'll be a fun game against Baltimore, but I think he's going to get a chance sooner rather than later to lead an NFL franchise. Now, Jags fans, if you want this 3-pack of face coverings, it is on sale for 75% off, $6.25. Usually these 3-packs are about $19.99, I believe, and right now they're $6.25. Stay safe, mask up. The NFL season will be here before you know it for Jags fans, and don't you want to get back into home games, packing those stadiums? If you do, you're probably going to have to wear a face mask. Chatsports.com/JagsMask. You go to that link in the comments or in the description, or if you just search it, it'll redirect you to that Fanatics page, and you can get that 3-pack of face coverings today. Brian Daboll, a guy I really like. I've got him at number 2 here. I can't say enough about what he's done with Josh Allen. He's a legitimate MVP candidate. The way this guy finished this year and how he has developed Josh Allen the past couple of seasons. I mean, Allen went from rookie season, completed like 52% of his passes, made a jump in year 2, made a massive leap in year 3. Josh Allen is going to finish 3rd in the MVP conversation, and over the last 6 weeks of the season, he's probably been the best player in the National Football League. Brian Daboll is skyrocketing up coaching boards as we speak. I think he's got a real shot of getting one of these jobs. If I'm the Jags, he might be the guy I would call first if I'm being completely honest. But we've got to put Urban Meyer at number 1 because, hey, the reports are leaking again. I can't wait for 2 weeks from now, the Urban Meyer, I was never really interested thing, because this is what happens every time. But apparently it seems real this time. He has real interest in the NFL because maybe it's a little less stressful than the college game. He doesn't want to ruin that relationship with Ohio State, which is why maybe he didn't take the Texas job. But I think he's got interest in living in Jacksonville, Florida, in that nice weather down there, coaching Trevor Lawrence, or maybe he drafts Justin Fields. No, he'll take Trevor Lawrence if he gets this job. The report is if he can be involved in the GM search as well, then Urban Meyer does have strong interest in returning to the NFL. I do think it's Jacksonville or bust for him. I think he's got to be at the top of the list right now for the Jags. I like Daboll better, but it seems like Urban Meyer is the leading candidate in the clubhouse as of now. So would you hire Urban Meyer if you were the Jags or any NFL team? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Would you bring one of the all-time great college coaches to the National Football League? He's never been an NFL head coach. It would be very, very interesting. Go ahead and let me know in the comments section.